Alright, I've put the ball bearings into the car. Got the ball bearings. I also put hollow axles. Haven't showed which hollow axles we're using. NSR 4872. There's several different manufacturers. NSR gives the 55 millimeter, which come out to be perfect on this car. The axle is shorter than the stock 60, so you actually get the tires the correct width. So we put the ball bearings in and we put the hollow axle on. It's the only changes we've made, and I just wanted to show this. I ran 12 laps. After 10 laps, the fast time was, or the overall time was 115.292. Now I just want to compare that. I'm going to show you my notes I've been taking. The 10 lap record, or the 10 lap before that I had marked with the fast time of 10.4 was 138.37. So this time was 115.267. Well, again, the software allowed me to run 12 laps instead of 10. So there's 12, 138. 138 was 10 laps before. So we have gained 2 laps. We've lost 15 seconds on our overall average. The fast lap of this 10 laps was 11 seconds. I never got back down to 10, but with an average of 115, that's definitely faster than anything. So here's the 25 laps, because I run my test in 10 and 25 laps. So we run exactly 25. Our overall total was 335.03. And here it was before. 25 laps was 351.6. Now it's 335. That's 15 seconds. Gain of 15. Yeah, 15 second. 16 second gain over 25 laps. That one I still have on the leaderboard here showing the fast time. I did get down 1 lap. Was 10.326. Most laps were running in the 11s because I was trying to do a 25 lap average, but early on, like the first 4 or 5 laps, it was getting faster and faster and faster. Had a couple of spills, a couple of off tracks. You can see right here whatever lap that is, like lap 7 or 8. So it was somewhere before that, and this doesn't show individual lap times, but anyway, there was a 10.3. So the car, to me, is right where I want it. All the adjustments made, the ride height of the car, its stance, its grip. I say it still might be a little bit much for the motor, and we'll have to talk to some other people to see if we want to increase the motor. That's quite a bit of gap under the car. There you go. You can see the gap. Quite a large gap. That's like a millimeter. If I was to measure it, it would be like a millimeter gap under the car. And so with the bumps in my track, with that gap, we're still dragging. Can't see it in the camera, but the LED for the pickup, it actually has little grooves on it because it is lower and it sets down in the rails and it's dragging. It's put little grooves in it, but it seems to still be working fine. I never missed a lap, and I know before, when I originally had it built, I was skipping laps. I caught it at least 3 different times skipping a lap. So we're not skipping laps, counting every lap, so that's fine. You can see the motor I just put in. So I got 35 laps on the car, a 25 lap run and a 10 lap run, and you can see where it's dragging the motor. Already slipped the paint off some. That's why I think it still has a little bit too much magnet for the track. We're coming up on Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I plan on pulling the track up. We're going to do some maintenance on a pickup truck. But part of what I need to do to my track is get rid of all the rest of this copper tape. What's left is places that's hard to reach. It's hard for me to get to. So that's why it's still on there. But we're going to pull up all of this copper tape. And at the same time, we're going to go through all of the connections. Let me show you a connection. That's a good connection point on the track there. It's nice and smooth. It's another good connection point. Let's jump over here to where we had this piece right here is actually custom made to get the track the correct length. It's fairly good, fairly good. You can see that one is a bump. So that's part of the maintenance that we're going to try to get rid of all of these bumps, and definitely get rid of all of this copper tape. This copper tape has caused me so many problems. So we're getting rid of all of this copper tape down the back stretch. This crossover, the problem with the copper tape I used is the adhesive that holds the tape on is not conductive. So actually when I put this piece of tape on, say from here to here, it's not touching another piece of copper tape, it's only touching the rail. But since the glue is not not conductive, the adhesive is not conductive, this was dead. I didn't even realize it was dead until I was working on it the last couple of weeks. And so what you have to do is take a razor blade and cut into the track to make sure some of the copper touches the track to get conductivity. The bottom line is just all needs to come up. And then some of the connection points, so that one doesn't even have solder. Some of the connection points I've done are soldered where the track's connected, and that's why my track is really so bumpy. That's why it sometimes tears up the braids if the cars are not riding on the wheels. If they're riding on the pickup guide, it might actually tear the braids up. So during Christmas, yeah, there's a good one. You can see how that's raised. There's a solder joint underneath the copper tape, and you can see how it's raised. There's a bump there. So that's part of the maintenance we're going to do, is we're going to take all this copper tape up, get rid of all of these raised spots of solder. I have some new idea to put copper along this side, just a piece of wire, and then just solder a little bit between the two, and that will connect each. A lot more work, but need to do something with this track with too many problems. So for the NSR car right now, the tuning and setup is good. What we're going to do is take it all apart, wash it, and paint it, and then I will be back with the washing and painting and applying the Red Bull livery. All right, so that's it for the setup and the track that we're going to do some work on.